All right, we're going to keep going with arithmetic series, and this time I'm going to show you an actual formula. And this is needed more when I give you like certain information and you have to find a piece of the formula that's missing. Like, for example, I give you the sum, but I ask for n, or the number of terms. That's when it might get a little tricky, and sigma doesn't work for that. And we'll get into some examples like that later, but I'm going to show you this formula. And please don't, it is a little more intimidating, I guess. So just bear with me, and we'll do plenty of examples and we'll get plenty of practice with it. So if we remember a series, that is the sum of a sequence. We take all of the terms, or 5 terms, 10 terms, 100 terms, and we add them together. And so when we're finding the sum, we're going to use this formula. So S sub n, that just means the sum of, if I was finding the sum of 5 terms, that would be S with a 5, right? Equals n times, get your big parentheses because we have a fraction. On top of the fraction is a1 plus an, and then on the bottom is 2. So we're going to look at this formula and figure it out. So n, that is just the number of terms. How many terms are we adding together? That's n. A1 is your first term, and an is your last term. So for example, if we were finding the sum of the first 5 terms, for me to be able to do this, I actually have to know what that 5th term is. I actually have to know what that last term is in order to do this. And it's not hard to find that. We use the arithmetic sequence formula just like we have been. That's just like we did for sigma. All right, let's look at number 5. And I'm going to go to the side and I'm going to write out n equals. All right, what is n? N is the number of terms that I am adding together. So based on this information, what is n? N is 19. Then I'm going to look for A1. What is my first term? It is 2. My first term is 2. And then the hard one to find is AN. And I know I'm going to write this as A19. That is my last term. What is my 19th term? Well, rats, because I don't have it. But I'm going to find it. So, when we're finding that term, we have to think back to our dn minus 1 plus a1 formula. It's coming from that formula. The formula we use with sigma, that's the formula from arithmetic sequences. This is a unit of lots of formulas. So my common difference, what am I adding each time in my sequence. It's 2. 2 plus 2 is 4. Plus 2 is 6. Plus 2 is 8. And n minus 1, I'm going to plug in a 19 there because I'm actually finding that 19th term. And my A1 is 2. So in your calculator, type that in. You get 38. So I know I'm finding the sum of the first 19 terms. My first term is 2, and my last term is 38. So I have everything that I need for this formula. So S sub n, and I know n is 19, so I'm going to find the sum of the first 19 terms equals n, which is 19, times A1, which is 2, plus AN, or A19, which is 38, and divided by 2. And when you type that in your calculator, you get 380. Let's do number 6. All right. N equals, that is the number of terms that I'm adding together. That's 25. A1, that is the first number listed, which is -6. AN, well, since n is 25, that means A sub 25, which is my 25th term. Just the number that's in the 25th spot in the list. And I've got to find that using my formula. So let's look at our common difference. This one looks a little harder. You may not be able to figure it out just by looking at it. So the way that you can find the common difference is you take some term, any term, -19, and you subtract the one before it. So -19 minus -6. And that gives me -13. I know that my n is 25, and my first term is -6. So when I type that in the calculator, I get -318. Now I have everything I need to find the sum of the first 25 terms. So I'm going to fill into this S sub n formula right here. $25 times -6 plus -318 divided by 2. And we get -4050. All right. Number 5. We're finding the sum of the first 22 terms. So I'm going to start by picking out those pieces that I need for the formula. N equals A1 equals AN equals. So I know that N equals 22 because that's how many terms I'm adding together. A1 is 3. And so AN is going to be A22. That means only the 22nd term. So I'm going to do the formula dn minus 1 plus A1. See if you can figure out your common difference. It's 5 because I'm adding 5 every time. N is 22. And my first term is 3. So when I type that in my calculator, I get 108. So now I have all the pieces I need. S sub n, which is really S sub 22, the sum of the first 22 terms, equals 22 times 3 plus 108 divided by 2. And we get 1,221. All right. Number 6, if you feel comfortable and you feel like you could look back at your previous examples and figure it out yourself, then I encourage you to pause the video and then play it and see if you get the right answer. All right, so for this formula, we need to find N, which is 11. It's coming from here. A1, which is 24. That's my first term. And A sub n, that means my 11th term. We need my common difference, which is 7. And in parentheses, 11 minus 1 plus 24. And if you type that in your calculator, you get 94. And then I have enough information for my formula. And we get 649. All right, number 7. N equals 14, because I'm finding the sum of the first 14 terms. A1 is 11. And so AN, that means I'm finding just the 14th term. I need my common difference, which is -5. N minus 1, so 14 minus 1, plus my first term, which is 11. And we get -54. Plugging into the formula. And we get -301. If at any time you feel like you've got it down pat, you don't have to keep watching all of the examples. You could stop, or you could even just work the rest of them out yourself and then fast forward and check your answer. I'm going to start working a little faster. If you are still feeling a little behind, go back and rewatch some of the previous examples. All right. N equals 18. A1 equals 17. AN is really A18. So I've got to use the formula to find that. That's the arithmetic sequence formula. And we get 68, so that means that the 18th number in that list is 68. And you get 765. One thing that I haven't mentioned, a lot of these problems I haven't already worked out, so it is possible that I might make a mistake somewhere. So if you see something, if you think that I made a mistake in the video, please email me and let me know, and I'll see if I did and then go from there. All right, number 9. N equals 10. A1 equals -5. AN, that really means A10 because my N is 10. And so I need to know my common difference, which is 4. N minus 1, 10 minus 1, plus -5. We get 31. So the 10th number in that spot is 31. And for this one, we get 130 for that sum. So the sum, if I take all the terms, 10 numbers that I'm adding together, they're going to add up to be 130. All right, last example. You're probably exhausted. N equals 9. A1 equals 112. Oops. AN is really a 9, that ninth number. And I need my common difference. It's -7. 9 minus 1 plus 112. We get 56. So when I plug into the formula, I get 756. All right. Hopefully, by the end of this, you were able to catch on and kind of get the hang of it. If not, you may need to go back and rewatch the videos. Hopefully, I'm recording this video on September the 18th. We're supposed to come back to school in a week and a half. So hopefully we're already in school and you're watching this video. So you should be coming to class tomorrow and I'll be answering questions for you. So if you need any help, feel free to ask me at any time. Otherwise, have a great day.